on behalf of my wife and I, we would like to thank you all for joining us on what is the best day of our lives so far. A wedding is really a chance for us to throw a party for all the people that really matter to us and say thank you to you all for the contributions you have made to our lives so far. And we look forward to what the future brings with you all. The best way I can try to describe what the word love means to me is how you make me feel, which is something I can't truly put together into words. But what I can say is that it's you, Ione, and it is only you that has ever made me feel like this. In this marriage, I hope to show you what that feeling means and have it be something that we can share together for the rest of our lives. As I said when I asked you to marry me, will you be my best friend forever? And if you could join me in a toast to my new wife and my best friend forever.
Love is not breathlessness. Love is not excitement. It's not the promulgation of promises of eternal passion. It is not the desire to mate every single second of every day. And it's not lying awake at night imagining that he's kissing every cranny of your body. Don't blush. I'm telling you some truths. That's just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left when being love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident.
Welcome everybody on this very special day. Before we start, there's just a bit of housekeeping. As some of you may know, Sally and I have been successfully fish farming piranha in the lake for the past 5 years. So for those of you who wish to have a few sherbets later on, followed by a swim, please feel free. Just remember that when you climb out, you will probably weigh somewhat less than when you went in. Now today, my beautiful daughter Ione, who we all adore so much, starts a new life. She begins with a fine young man who's a credit to his parents, Bill and Claire. Can we give Bill and Claire some applause? Where are they? Can you give us a wave, Bill and Claire? They've gone home already. We welcome Jonny into the family, despite, can you take that bit? That really helpful. Despite him having no interest in football, let alone Manchester United, and he's never done tug of war. I do, however, have a cure for that, and here it is. Can you hold up the back of it? And there's one for Ione. Now, if you look at the numbers on the back, it'll give you some idea of the pecking order in the relationship later on. So I'll put that there. As for the tug of war, we won't dwell on that. Suffice to say, you pulled my daughter, and that's the best pull you'll ever like to make. What I simply must speak of today is the love, the joy, the laughter and the friendship that Ione brings to everybody she meets. You truly have a unique gift, so please never let it go, because we love you so much for it. You're the most wonderful, talented, amazing daughter a father could ever ask for. A true gift from heaven. Thank you. Now, could we raise our glasses, please, in a toast to the bride and groom? Ready? The bride and groom. Bride and groom.
On behalf of my wife and I, we would like to express some thanks to some people who have put in an exceptional amount of work to making this day possible. Callie, Tessa, Amy's auntie Willie, Ali and Archie, for all your hard work on the flowers today. Like, the tent does look insane, so thank you very much. Tim and Cindy, wherever you are, thank you for lending us the Bentley. That was spectacular. To too many cooks, you're about to enjoy all their delicious food. And a special thanks to Annie, wherever you are, and the and the Sail and Peg team. You've been a great comfort and help to Ione's mum, Sally, for today, so thank you very much. You've done great. I, like many of us, picked up a couple of odd hobbies over lockdown, and I've become quite fond of brewing the odd batch of limoncello. So I've graced you all with 10 litres of homebrew that's been maturing in our bathroom for the last 3 months, which I personally feel might be my best batch ever. It did involve the peeling of about 300 lemons, so you'll better enjoy it. But if you fancy joining me at the end and charging a shot glass with the cello, please do so. It is good. Whilst midway through study for my Masters in Newcastle, I received a sweaty-faced post-gym snapshot from Ione, or so she made out, at least, which, let's just say, caught my eye. Curiosity piqued by this Snapchat, I returned one of my not-so-great grimacing blue steel selfies, which was then returned by another from her. The game of to me to you Snapchat had begun. We then proceeded to trade these over the coming months on a casual basis. And when I moved back to London and completion of my Masters, I was pleased to see that, in fact, I was not the victim of some catfish-styled selfie scam. And the young Ione had truly blossomed into quite some beauty over the years I hadn't seen her. The game was afoot, and the chase was on. My first full proposal of courtship between us, after a few winky eyes and a drunken snog, was actually firmly rejected. A good pieing by her on the grounds that we've been friends for years and it would be a shame to such a ruin such a thing on a whim. Nonsense, I said. Risk it for a biscuit. Despite her initial rejection to the notion, it was a couple of weeks later that I managed to wear her down and she agreed to go on a date with me, mostly, I can imagine, to shut me up and stop the incessant badgering. And well, the rest, as they say, is history. I give you this ring.
It's a sign of our marriage.
It's a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
My body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
All that I have, I share with you.
In the love of God.
In the love of God.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Jonny, I give you this ring.
Jonny, I give you this ring
As a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God.
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Okay, would you like to come forward a little? And join your right hands. In the presence of God and before this congregation, Jonny and Ione have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife, those whom God has joined together. Let no one put asunder.
as he knows, when you're tying a knot and it becomes wet, it then becomes a lot harder to untie. So given that Jonny and Ione have just tied the knot, I'm hoping that the rain serves a good luck charm and they're a lot less likely to unravel. However, it has not always been plain sailing for Jonny. And I have had the good fortune to see him unravel on many an occasion. And a final bit of context. As you may know, Jonny was my best man only a month ago. Which left me a lot of room for manoeuvre when writing this speech. And he expertly straddled the line, never quite crossing it. Very foolish. And so he might be pretty gutted if I opt for total devastation anyway. So on that theme, which seems to be developing, we're going to talk about another unplanned sleepover. An evening in Wales. Jonny, being the sociable creature that he is, had a lovely, enjoyable evening in a rural Welsh pub. Whilst away on a university geology trip, believe it or not. So far, so good. However, on their return back to the accommodation, there was a frenzied discussion about whether they should go left or right. As you may have guessed, Jonny should have gone to the right. But unperturbed, he struck out to the left, alone, into a harsh Welsh winter night. And Jonny will tell the story as a sort of Bear Grylls-esque survival situation here. As seeking shelter, he came across a cottage. And unfortunately or fortunately, he went up to the front door and gave it a push and it opened. So in he went, quick nosy round, and he found a guest bedroom with some fresh sheets on. And in he went, and that was home. That was home for the night. Fortunately, the homeowners did not wake him up. He managed to get himself up, but not before the coaches that were meant to take him home had long departed. Jonny is fun, kind, loves with his whole heart, and is fiercely loyal. As Mum will tell you, ever since he could walk, he's always had his family's back. At the supermarket as toddlers, I was up to something, and Mum was wrestling something out of my hand. And Jonny, now able to walk, came storming over, shouting, "Don't worry, Andrew, I'll save you." And I know that he'll fight fiercest of all for you.
The speeches are without a doubt my favourite part of a wedding. That and watching the groom's face see his future spouse walk towards him at the bottom of the aisle. Their face sort of melts in a way you've never experienced it do before as their friend. It's a poignant moment, one of real intimacy shared between partners that we as the bystanders to that relationship are privileged to see only for a brief second. No one really knows what goes on behind closed doors in a partnership until that very moment. That softening of their face is the cue for us to turn around, have a good old gawp, and likely cry at the bride, which I and many others of us did earlier today, multiple times. In a game of Mr. and Mrs., sportingly played by Jonny earlier this year, he told me that his wife's best quality was he could take her anywhere and not have to look after her, able to hold her own in a room full of people. I agree. It's why so many of us are here today. You see, Ione is a connector. She is constantly growing the group, bringing in new friends and ensuring it remains inclusive to all. She has space for everyone in her heart, and nothing is ever too much. So it was of no surprise to me that when I asked a handful of those closest to her to describe Ione, Tess was the first to say, "She makes people feel so loved. She'll always be the one to check in and help in whatever way she can. Danny echoed this. Mid-page turn during a very sentimental moment. Danny echoed this, explaining that Ione is full of love, helping in any crisis. She is a kind and truly lovely human. She's the first person you want to laugh, cry, rant, spin, and get a Starbucks with, said Anna. So as my final words, I would like to thank you, Jonny, for while you may be forever together with your new wife, Ione, we are all with her too, in heart and in mind, and there's honestly no one better we'd like to share her with. Can I please ask you to be upstanding one final time to charge your glasses to our favourite friends, Ione and her husband, Jonny Allen.
Al tuo